Well, ladies and gentlemen, after much delay due to technical difficulties and Wi-Fi issues here at Veterans Field, we are back with you here in the top of the third inning, where the Braves have put on a second run after Zach Agnos launched a home run on a 3-1 count back in the second. Braves get a base hit from Braylon Wimmer, and E6 brings home Max Anderson. And Daniel, I'll turn it over to you for the Braves leading 2-0.
Thank you. With Joe Lampe on at the plate, Braylon Wimmer at second. A check swing, that's going to drift foul down the third base line. 0-2, it remains with 2 outs here at Veterans Field. The Braves lead 2-0 after what Reeves said, a Zach Agnos laser solo shot to left field. Braylon Wimmer gets on base with a base hit, E6. And scoring is Max Anderson, who's 2 for 2 on the day. So a good start for the Nebraska Cornhusker. 0-2 to Joe Lampe. Witt still on the mound, looking over at Braylon Wimmer and stepping off. No one covering, though.
Yeah, 2 singles on the day for Max Anderson. As you mentioned, he is red hot. Had that single up the middle in both his first and second at-bats of the day. As Lampe aboard with Wimmer over at second, but 2 strikes from Tanner Witt.
The 0-2. Witt misses outside. First ball in this matchup against Joe Lampe, who in his first at-bat struck out. That ended the first inning in the 5 spot for the first time this season. On deck is Tanner Schobel. Behind him, Nick Goodwin. Braylon Wimmer taking a lead at second. Witt taking a step off and now settling himself back into the stretch. 2-0. 1 run in each of the last 2. The Braves lead at 2-2. Breaking ball misses low and outside. Witt struggling to find the strike zone as of late.
Yeah, Braves trying to take advantage of them. Already 2 runs early on, so obviously the Braves just scored 1 run before Chatham put up 5 unanswered. It was 5-1 Anglers. Braves ended up putting another run on in that game, but already 2 runs for the Braves without Chatham getting across.
The delivery. Another ball outside. Breaking ball misses a bit to the left of the strike zone. Full count and a payoff pitch for Witt coming. Braylon Wimmer is speedy at second base in scoring position.
Just wanted to apologize for those at home listening about the connectivity issues here. It's the second time now we've been to Veterans Field. Great place to play, but not the best connection for the road broadcast.
Swing and a miss. The second strikeout for Joe Lampe. Witt gets out of the top of the third, but lets up a run. Max Anderson scores. He's 2 for 2 on the day. The Braves will be in the field defending in the bottom of the third. We'll bring that to you just after this break. Welcome back to the bottom of the third. The Braves have taken a lead early on, 2-0, thanks to Zach Agnos with a solo shot over the left center field wall. And a Braylon Wimmer E6 base hit that scored Max Anderson all the way from second. Max Anderson's 2 for 2 on the day. That's why he's Big Ten Freshman of the Year. First pitch popped up foul. This is going to be Matt Hogan at the 2 spot for the second time today. He struck out at the hands of Michael Sansone back in the first.
Yeah, Sansone has been dealing. Obviously, he's allowed 3 hits. Worked out of a jam in the last half inning. Got some help from his defense. Nick Goodwin, Joe Lampe in center made 2 excellent plays.
Sansone with an 85-mile-per-hour fastball high and inside, missing. 4-1, 1-1. And something that we talked about that we didn't take advantage of was the 5 errors that the Chatham Anglers posted 2 weeks ago in our last trip to Veterans Field. And a 1-1 count. Hogan misses. Low and outside, 2-1. Sansone still dealing from the stretch. The Fairfield Stag has gotten through 2 scoreless innings, looking to make that 3 against the 2-spot hitter. 5 hits compared to 3 in favor of the Braves. Another ball missing upstairs. 3-1 off a fastball. Sitting at the high 80s, mid 80s with the fastball, but he's known for that changeup that really gets batters ahead of themselves.
Yeah, he is, and especially to righties. Obviously can't utilize it as much to lefties. He does sometimes, but not as much.
3-1 Hogan chopped and fouled off of Garcia's glove. 3-2 and a payoff pitch coming, and a huge crowd here.
Gigantic.
At Veterans Field on Military Appreciation Night. We had the whole 9 yards come out. United States Coast Guard, a flyover by a helicopter. Firefighters and police officers swinging a miss in the dirt. John Garcia going to gun it down to first. Dalton rushing for out number 2.
The shortstop from the University of Florida, number 24, Josh Rivera.
Josh Rivera at the plate. He faces 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. And Michael Sansone, I mean, he is dealing in his 2nd start of the entire season. We've seen him before. We were used to seeing him in the relief spot, but he is cementing himself in a starting role and making a better case for himself tonight at Veterans Field. The delivery. First pitch strike, fastball, 87 on the gun, 0-1 to Rivera, who singled back in the 1st. That was the first hit for the Anglers tonight. We're moving more towards being fully under the lights, fouled off above the Braves dugout.
Yeah, just that prototypical changeup there from Sansone to the right-handed hitting Rivera, who had that single, as you mentioned. Got some dogs out of the ballpark tonight. Good to see everyone out, and I think the thing that is really cool to me is all the people out there on that outfield berm, right off the street here in Chatham.
You have the fire department out there in right field. The hill with a bunch of fans, and that's going to do it. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Rivera goes down looking off a breaking ball from Sansone for out number 2. Garrett Martin looking to make something happen here in the bottom of the 3rd. He was hit by a pitch. In his last at-bat, facing 2 outs and Michael Sansone in brief. If you had to guess, how long do you think Sansone will be going? The more we see these starting pitchers, the longer they go, it seems.
Yeah, I could see Sansone going 5 again today. I don't think they'd move him past 5. Not sure who we'll see out of relief today. Nick, did you hear who we'll see out of relief today? Turn it over to Nick real quick. You did not? Okay. Nick did not hear who we'll see out of relief today.
Maybe Stewart.
Maybe Tyler Stewart today.
A swing and a miss, 1-1. Sansone with a breaking ball low and outside. Had Garrett Martin chasing.
Wonder if we see Freeling, maybe. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, 1-1 count in a game that's been fairly quick. Another breaking ball and a swing and a miss. 79 miles per hour on the gun. And 1-2, and Sansone is sticking with that brilliant changeup that he so often shows us, and we saw firsthand before at the Harwich Mariners home turf.
Yeah, he wanted a triple up right there as he just missed in the dirt, but Sansone's changeup deadly. And he's really showing it off here to Garrett Martin, who he hit by a pitch. That was early on in the count when Garrett came up in the 1st inning.
2-2 to Martin from McLennan College. A golden sky in left field and a baby blue sky in right. We're moving more towards nighttime here in Chatham against this East Division team. Swing and a miss, and he stays alive with a foul ball back into the net.
Yeah, Braves were expected to get 2 Vanderbilt players up to their squad this year in the likes of Parker Noland and C.J. Rodriguez. That never came to fruition. 2 Vanderbilt players, though, in the starting lineup for the Anglers today. That includes Matt Hogan, their 2-hole hitter, and Max Romero Jr., the 7-spot hitter.
Full count now after a breaking ball misses low, and a payoff pitch coming from Sansone with 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Exact opposite of the start that we saw 2 weeks ago here at Veterans Field, where the Braves had their backs against the wall against these anglers. Hunter Olmwood took to the mound, and he was immediately lit up. But a payoff pitch and an opportunity to get out of the bottom of the third. Sansone. That one catches low and inside, 88 miles per hour on the gun. The Braves post 3 scoreless innings, and they look to do more damage in the top of the fourth. 2-0, the Braves lead on the road.
Sponsors to support the Cave League and the 10. Now batting, the second baseman, number 27, Tanner Schobel.
The 6, 7, and 8 spot hitters are due up in the top of the fourth. Tanner Schobel, Nick Goodwin, and Zach Agnos following in that sequence. On deck is going to be Nick Goodwin. In the hole, Zach Agnos, but Tanner Schobel, after flying out to left field, stepping in for the second time tonight. And he rips one down the third base line. That's going to drop fair. And will he think about 2? He will. There he goes, and he's going to stand up with a double to start things off in the top of the fourth. That was a laser, Reeves, down the third base line that just got in fair play.
Yeah, brilliant piece of hitting by Schobel. Turned on a fastball there from Tanner Witt and just smoked it over the head of Lavari over there at third base, and Schobel had double written all over it from the word go.
Tanner Schobel now 1 for 2 on the day. Nick Goodwin looking to improve after striking out looking back in the second. Zach Agnos on deck, who homered in the second as well. Tanner Schobel was all over that one. A breaking ball low for ball number 1. Witt still on the mound, and these pitchers are dueling right now. The Braves have gotten the better of Witt, though, 2-0. They have 6 hits already in what has been a relatively quick game here in Chatham.
Yeah, it's been flying by so far.
1-0 showing Bunn pulling back, though, and that one drifts high, 2-0. A fastball, 91 miles per hour for the Texas Longhorn. Witt on the mound. That one drifted high, but as we were mentioning, Nick Goodwin with an up-and-down season, never really know what you're going to get, and that's hard, especially when you're in the lineup every other day.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's especially tough to garner consistent at-bats. But for Goodwin, he's been able to do a pretty good job of that. Obviously, out in left field tonight, made that outstanding play defensively as he takes the ball away.
3-0, and we just got word that Cole Chudoba is warming up in the bullpen. The Assumption turned Yukon Husky is going to come in for relief of Michael Sansone. I wonder if we'll see him for maybe one more inning. First pitch as a strike, 3-1 to Nick Goodwin, who was right down the pipe. And as usual, Harvey Shapiro's batters are most often seen taking those 3-0 counts.
I think we'll see Sansone for a definite fifth, especially the way he's looked thus far.
With Chudoba with the baby blue glove and stepping off his Witt, looking back at Tanner Schobel. No one covering, but he had him beat.
Yeah, he did. But Schobel, thank goodness no one was over at the bag. No one even really holding Tanner on over there. Shortstop Rivera kind of checking, but not really.
Swing and a miss from Nick Goodwin, and a payoff pitch coming from Witt with cotton candy skies in left field and a baby blue perfect night in Chatham, and finally no rain in the radar.
Yeah,
Not that we know of.
Yeah,
because
right,
every time we
right,
say
who
that,
knows?
it seems that there's some sort of delay. And I mean, talk about the summer of rain that we have had here down on the Cape.
Yeah, but none tonight, thank goodness. Rainy forecast tomorrow, but picture perfect night and ready to get things through tonight.
Swing and a miss from Nick Goodwin. He goes down swinging, 2 strikeouts for the Kansas State product tonight. He's 0 for 2, but Zach Agnos coming off after a home run solo shot back in the second with Tanner Schobel in scoring position. And something that we know about Zach Agnos is when he gets on with a hit early on, he continues that. We saw that at Eldridge Park against Orleans.
Yeah, Agnos.
He responded to a double with a triple afterwards. So we'll see what we get.
Yeah,
here.
we'll see what we get here. But he launched that ball. It was deep into the trees his last time up.
He fouls one off behind the backstop and over the Braves dugout, 0-1. Witt has been pitching well and has been pitching quick, but he's already given up 6 hits to the Braves, who have capitalized with 2 runs, and they hold the lead on the road. 0-1 to the ECU Pirate. Missing high and outside, 1-1. A good eye by Agnos. That was towards his eye line. And Agnos on the season has been up and down with a 180 average, adding to his home run total with 3, one of which coming tonight in the second inning. Breaking ball and check swing, that's going to be called a strike, 1-2. And a brilliant looking Witt breaking ball.
Yeah, beautiful breaking ball there from Tanner Witt. Zach now behind in the count, 1-2, is well ahead on that 3-1 pitch from Witt. Just laid him an egg right down the middle, and Zach popped it over to left and deep into the trees.
1-2, swing and a miss, another strikeout. Witt is dealing after giving up a leadoff double to Tanner Schobel, and the final hope will be John Garcia in his first start defensively behind the plate. He struck out looking in the second and will face Witt for the second time. The Grambling State catcher, one of the best defensive catchers you're going to see down here on the Cape, looking to get it done at the plate, though, against Witt. He fouls off the first pitch dribbler towards the Chatham Anglers side. And a packed house at Veterans Field.
Yeah, it is. Great crowd tonight. Obviously, kind of a crowd that comes and goes as they please. You'll see fans leave, but then you have droves of fans that come in, whether they're at dinner, at the beach. And it's an interesting crowd here that makes it so special.
0-1, swing and a miss. 0-2 quickly to Garcia from Manhattan, New York. You don't see that very often. We thought we were making a mistake when we first introduced Garcia, but that's the Manhattan in New York, and he's behind early to Witt in this quick game in Chatham.
Yeah, Witt looking to strike out the side after that leadoff double by Mr. Tanner Schobel.
He takes that fastball high and upstairs, 1-2. Tanner Schobel still leading over there at second. The Longhorn from the stretch, the delivery. Fouled off back into the net. Garcia has only had a couple of at-bats, none of them successful thus far. We saw him a couple of days back as the catcher, and we've heard good things about him. Not necessarily the best at the plate, but defensively he is
one of the
incredibly sound.
One of the best catch and throw guys we heard from our own Theo Bartolomeo. And then for, obviously, Garcia at the plate, still a work in progress, but obviously you have to be capable on both ends to be playing in this league.
And he faces Witt here. Swing and a miss. That's going to be actually fouled. He just gets a piece of it.
Yeah, just got a piece
of it. Looks like he
that.
might have missed it and was a dropped third strike, but Garcia stays alive.
Yeah, good job there by Garcia. Just fouled off a tough breaking ball there from Witt. He was trying to change it up on him here with a 1-2 count.
Coming in against Peter Burns, who last night got his first hit in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, and the Braves continue to prove that they are most effective when their backs are against the wall. Looking for win number 21. Swing and a miss. Garcia goes down for the second time tonight at the hands of Witt. 2-0, the Braves lead going towards the bottom of the fourth. Will we see Sansone or Cole Chidoba warming up in the bullpen? We'll find out just after the break. First pitch from Sansone, who's taken over for his fourth inning, and that is a ball on the inside to Lyle Miller Green, who is one off from the lead in home runs in the Cape Cod League. Swing and a miss, and that's going to make it 1-1. Harvey Shapiro opting to go to Michael Sansone for the fourth inning, although Cole Chidoba looks like he's warming up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think we'll even see Sansone, if he gets through this clean fourth, I think you'll see Sansone back out there for a fifth as well.
Breaking ball in the dirt, 2-1 to Lyle Miller Green, who coming into this game is 18 for 89, 6 home runs and 18 RBIs for the Chatham Anglers. On the day, he grounded out to second.
Well, you saw Chidoba getting loose out there as a swing and a miss on a fastball now, even at 2-2. You saw Chidoba, he was just lightly tossing. I think Chidoba was just trying to keep the arm warm, but obviously no action. The Braves spin now, so I think Sansone has got the fourth. I think he'll get a fifth, too.
Would love to see him put himself in the position for a potential win here. That will just miss low. Garcia was ready to swing it around the horn, but a full count, and boy, that was a close call by the home plate umpire tonight.
Yeah, it looked like a good pitch. Thought it was a strike.
The delivery, swing and a miss. Lyle Miller Green goes down at the hands of Michael Sansone, and his quintessential changeup. One out in the bottom of the fourth. Up will be Jake DeLeo, who singled and made it all the way to third. He was stranded in the second, however.
Yeah, now 6 strikeouts on the afternoon for Sansone, including 4 consecutive punch-outs. Struck out the side of Hogan, Rivera, Martin back in the third, and then a strikeout of Miller Green to begin this half of the fourth.
First pitch catches the upper part of the zone with an 87-mile-per-hour fastball. 0-1. Jake DeLeo from Georgia Tech, the left fielder for the Chatham Anglers, has already singled in this game off of Sansone. Low and inside off another fastball, and 1 mile per hour faster. 1-1. 1 out, and what has to be one of the most packed crowds that we have seen here this entire summer.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Low and inside, 2-1. Sansone now with his 52nd pitch No runs allowed in this West versus East matchup. This is the second time we have faced an East Division team, and the last came last night against the Orleans Firebirds. Low and inside again, 3-1. Sticking with the fastball, but he can't get a grip on it. One out, and boy, was that another dramatic finish for the Braves in their favor. 3-2, a fastball in the outer half, catches.
Yeah, that game last night. And we kind of mentioned on the air last night leading up to that walk-off hit, but the dugout's reaction before Peter Burns hit that walk-off, just them standing up there to cheer him on.
Slapped over to right, Braylon Wimmer on the run, grabs it in full stride for out number 2, and down goes Jake DeLeo. It was a well-hit ball taken the other way off of Sansone and a payoff pitch, but it does not pay off for DeLeo. Up will be Max Romero Jr., the catcher, who also singled and was stranded back in the second inning at second base. How about Braylon Wimmer? I mean, you can move him anywhere out here on the field defensively.
Yeah, he's he's a Swiss Army knife of sorts, you could say. Jack of all trades. How about this guy, though, as Romero fouls it off. Max Romero, against the Cotuit Kettleers the other night, became the 11th player in Cape Cod League baseball history to hit 3 home runs in one game.
Oh, 2. And Michael Sansone is dealing here against Max Romero Jr. Romero Jr. from Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt Commodores road ending in Omaha just this past June. 0-2, and he steps off, and Michael Sansone looks like he's primed to go another 5th inning. He has one pitch away from finishing off the bottom of the 4th. Swing out towards left field. No movement out there by Nick Goodwin, and he finishes off. Fly ball from Romero Jr. 2-0. The Braves continue to hold their lead, and Sansone continues to deal. The 5th opportunity for the Bourne Braves to add some runs in their 2-0 lead in the first half of this game in the East Division Veterans Field against the Chatham Anglers, and a new pitcher on the mound, the second of the day for the Anglers. And with that, I'm going to send it over to my buddy on the right, Reeves Jackson, for the play-by-play.
Thank you, Daniel. Alex McFarland taking over for the Chatham Anglers. Braves get 2 off of Tanner Witt. McFarland from Miami out of the University of Miami, as Knapczyk leads off and takes a first pitch ball at 92 downstairs. McFarland on the season for the Anglers, 1-2, a 4.72 ERA, 17 strikeouts in 13 1/3. He's only issued 8 walks, so good strikeout to walk numbers for McFarland as Knapczyk chops this one foul behind the plate. Knapczyk on the day, well, kind of rare to say this through his first 2 at-bats, but 0 for 2. He flew out to right and grounded out to second for someone who has been so hot early in the game as of late.
Especially in those first 2 at-bats. Even Knapczyk came off a 4-game streak where he led off with a hit. So not doing what we're used to seeing him do as the Louisville Cardinal takes one inside for ball 2. But Knapczyk not having the day we maybe expected, but coming back to earth a little bit.
Knapczyk, ground ball up the middle. To his right goes Soretti, across his body. Throw to first. And they beat Knapczyk by about a half a step. A good play retires the Braves' leadoff hitter.
Yeah, I thought we were going to see another infield single from Christian Knapczyk. We have still yet to get the numbers there for that between him and Joe Lampe, but just missed that as Reeve put it by a half a step, beating it to first.
Max Anderson came into play today hitting .299 for the Braves. Is 2 for 2 today, so back into the 300s. He whiffs through a fastball for strike 1. 0-1 the count. As McFarland deals and Anderson watches a slider miss away. McFarland's fastball from 92 to 95. A lot of Chatham Anglers pitchers that we've seen thus far, they have healthy life on their fastballs as Anderson cuts through that one at 95, 1-2.
Yeah, Anderson's been the best batter for the Braves by far tonight. I mean, other than Zach Agnos, who popped one over the left field wall. But Agnos behind here, and he's 2 for 2, looking to make it 3 for 3.
1-2, breaking ball misses away. Good eye there from Max, as they call him Max Barrels. And the Braves dugout, due to his ability just to barrel up baseballs as he's done through his first 2 plate appearances today. 2 for 2, a single and a run scored, but goes down swinging on a slider for out number 2.
Yeah, just got him there with a breaking ball at 85 miles per hour and shows just how effective the fastball is coming from the Miami Hurricane.
So 2 outs here in the inning for Dalton Rushing. Rushing would love to give some of the fans on the berm a souvenir out there and right, just like he did last game. First pitch, Rushing, ground ball to short. Easy pickings for Rivera and throws over to first. And the Braves go 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. As we send things to the bottom half with the Braves in this one up 2-0. Reeves Jackson joined kindly by Nick Galley here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sansone back of the mound against lefty Kenny Lavari. Lavari from Old Dominion. They enjoyed an incredible season out of the Conference USA. He swings and misses. Strike 1. Nick, how are you?
You know, not too good now that I have to see you, but other than that, we're doing great.
You don't want to see your
I'm just kidding.
Sweet Southern friend?
I love my sweet Southern Georgia peach here.
Oh,
Reeves
Nick,
Jackson.
you're so sweet.
Best buddies out here on the broadcast.
Absolutely. A one from Sansone to Lavari.
Oh,
That
my
hits
God.
Kenny Lavari in the back.
I thought that was his face for a second. That's why.
That's what I was about to say,
Oh.
Nick. I was like, where'd you think that got him?
The center fielder.
As Lavari jogs on down to first, Caden Trankel will hop into the batter's box from the left-handed side. So something interesting we noticed about Chatham's lineup today from the last time that Sansone faced them. Obviously, they started that game against Omeland. Chatham stacked a lot of righties in the lineup. They didn't really play the matchup per se, but they saw how successful Sansone was against the right-handers with that changeup. More lefties in the lineup for Chatham today to boot, including Trankel and the hitter before in the likes of Lavari. Is that fastball called a strike?
So far, I'm not jinxing anything, but so far, hasn't worked well for them.
No.
You know, you can
Regardless.
you can step into the right side batter's box. You can step in the left. You're not going to hit Michael Sansone most of the nights. You know, I mean, this is a stellar pitcher. He knows how to pitch to both sides. You know, it doesn't matter. You could switch hit too. Throw 9 switch hitters in. Michael Sansone will find out how to pitch him.
It's honestly amazing, the success that Sansone has had. When you look at his frame, you look at his build, you look at his velocity, you look at the hitters in this league, he's not a guy that fits the prototypical type to have as much success as he's having.
Yeah, no.
But he's enjoying one of the best seasons of any Cape Cod League pitcher in 2021. This one, line to first.
Oh,
Rushing,
yeah, see you
makes
later.
the
See you
catch.
later, kid.
And tags out Kenny
my
Lavari.
goodness. Hey, that's back-to-back nights we've seen Dalton Rushing ready to go over at first.
Last night was,
I mean, my goodness.
and last night
My
Dalton
goodness.
Rushing.
No, Reeves, we got to celebrate this a little
My
bit more. There you go.
goodness.
There you go.
My goodness.
It's about time you get a little bit pumped up here.
You know, Nick, I could have been pumped up for the Agnos home run call, but the Wi-Fi here really cooked me out of that one.
It did.
But it's okay.
I mean, hey, that's not our
That's
fault.
why you're on the air. You're here to
Can't
get my
control that.
excitement back. You're right. You're right.
I got you.
A beautiful changeup. That changeup is unbelievable. Swing
you
and a miss
can't
there
say enough
from
about it. I
Soretti.
mean, I was telling Calvin earlier, it's just dirty. Like, it's yucky. It needs to be
It's
clean.
yucky.
It needs to be clean sooner, or
like,
else that thing's going to get an infection.
It's going to get an
That's what I'm
infection.
saying.
He needs to put it in the washing machine pronto.
We need some Neosporin, you know, that's
some OxyClean?
No, what?
I mean, I'm talking.
Yeah, put OxyClean in a cup. You tell me how you end up.
I thought
you
you
will
were-
be in the hospital. You will die from that. You will die from that. I'm talking about a wound here. I'm not talking about your dirty socks after you were running around your front yard during the family cookout, all right, down in Georgia. Whatever cookouts you guys have. I am talking about a scrape that's about to get infected. You put OxyClean on that, you will die, Reeves.
There's nothing into to Danny Soretti,
Oh,
the leadoff hitter for the Anglers, as he flies this one into shallow right. Braylon Wimmer comes on. Nick, I'll keep you here for a minute.
This had to be the quickest inning.
I was talking about. Thank goodness you're finally on in a quick inning for us defensively.
Pretty weird.
That's been a long time coming. But Nick, I didn't hear you say Neosporin the same time I said OxyClean. I thought you were talking about. You said the other time you need to throw the pitch in the washing machine.
Yeah, I did. But
Well,
I'm
now what are
switching
you
it up
talking
today.
about?
What if I came on here and just hammered the washing machine thing?
That's not good. You're
No,
right.
yeah,
You're
it'd be
right. You gotta
terrible.
change it up.
You have to switch it up. So that's what I did, and now you're trying to get in the hospital, it seems like, with this OxyClean in your cups.
Well, the Southern Reeves Jackson trying to put OxyClean in the cut. We'll have more from that here with Nick Galley the next time he joins the air. But for now, we head to the top of the sixth. This game moving
Very
quickly
quick, yeah.
along as we head to the sixth. The Braves bats back up, leading 2-0. Reeves Jackson and Daniel Coates back with you here In the top of the 6th inning, Daniel was just telling Nick, this game moving along quite fast. As McFarland with some chin music there to Braylon Wimmer brushes him back up and inside 1-0.
Yeah, and if you looked at the scoreboard, you wouldn't really guess that with 6 hits on the board already for the Braves, but quick work for the Chatham Anglers, and the home run shot really proved to be a catalyst, and after that, another RBI. Braylon Wimmer was able to make it 2 first and score another Brave 2-0.
1-1. Wimmer cuts through a slider. Good pitch from McFarland, who came in and done an excellent job out of relief for the starter Tanner Witt. As Wimmer watches that slider move away, 2-2 the count. As we move towards the dusk skies here at Veterans Field, 1-2 to Braylon Wimmer, and he fouls this one off. Good to see Braylon Wimmer's family here at the ballpark at Veterans Field. Braylon has been such a key to the cog in this Braves offense this season. Tied for the team lead in RBIs coming into play today with Dalton Rushing.
Yeah,
still at 16.
Coming in 22 for 77 with a .285 average, 16 RBIs.
1-2, and Wimmer gets a piece of it, fouls it off. 86-mile-an-hour off-speed changeup there from McFarland.
And he's tied for the lead with Dalton Rushing with 16 RBIs, and that is impressive stuff for a guy who has been in and out of the lineup every other day, it seems. But now with Caden Wallace out, as that one's fouled off, and now with Caden Wallace back in Arkansas, you got to imagine that's going to be improved on, and we might be seeing him as the sole leader after this game. We're going to have to wait and see, but he has been so efficient at the plate thus far.
2-2, McFarland to Wimmer. Fouled off once again. Good AB here from Braylon. The parking lot behind us packed to capacity, just as the stands are here today. Fans have continued to file in on the berm out there in right field and right center. 2-2 to Wimmer. Swing and a miss, and the bat goes flying towards the backstop. So Braylon a strikeout victim, and out number 1.
And Joe Lampe, who's coming off 2 consecutive strikeouts, looking to right the ship here in the 6th. The Braves continue to hold stout defensively, and that has been the difference in this game, as well as the pitching from Michael Sansone. I mean, you can't say much more about it for the Fairfield Stag. He's just been incredible and really mixing up not only his accuracy, but also his pitch decision.
Lampe takes a fastball away, 1-0 the count to Joe, who's still in search of that elusive first home run on the season, as is Christian Knapczyk. Lampe hit 3 with the Sun Devils. He cuts through that pitch, 1-1 the count. Lampe hit 3 with Arizona State, drove in 27 runs, stole 6 bases for the Sun Devils, and Joe Skies just went out of play over the Anglers' dugout. How many homers do you think Joe hits this year? Think he gets one?
I think he'll poke one at some point. I was
Okay.
actually a couple of days ago when we had a bottom of the 9th situation and a home run and walk-off impending. I looked up his stats for the Sun Devils. He had 3 home runs. That one's fouled off again, but he has the ability to go yard. And not only do we see that on the stat sheet from his college season, but we also have seen that in batting practice, and especially at YD. He had a great batting practice there, and he also had one here, poking a couple out.
1-2, called. Strike 3. Lampe has the hat trick in his first 3 at-bats. Down he goes again, the first time he's been caught looking today, and 2 quick outs. Good pitch there from McFarland.
Yeah, Tanner Schobel coming off a double. He has been so hot coming into this game against the Anglers. Improved on that with a handful of hits last night in that marathon game against the Firebirds.
Nothing in 1. Slider taken there by Tanner Schobel. Good pitch from McFarland, who came out firing out of relief for Tanner Witt. Nothing in 1. Swing and a miss. Another slider, and McFarland really catching these Bourne Braves hitters off balance here.
How about McFarland? He's looking to make this 3 consecutive strikeouts to get out of this half inning.
Nothing in 2 in that one. He tripled up on the slider, but it missed a little low in the dirt. 1-2. McFarland out of the windup. Big, tall righty 1-2, and Schobel goes down swinging slider in the dirt. McFarland just struck out the side. 1, 2, 3, go the Braves as we head to the home sixth, with the Braves still leading in this one 2-0.
At the 50-50 table.
Bottom of the sixth inning. Reeves Jackson now joined by our own sideline reporter, Calvin Cristoforo. Calvin, great to have you on. How you doing?
Hey, Reeves, thanks so much. You guys, you're standers, huh, up here?
We're standers up here.
So I thought I'd take a load off coming down here, have a seat, and talk to you, but apparently you and Daniel set precedent that you're standing here at
You know,
Veterans Field.
it's tough at Chatham because we're kind of up here on the.
Let's just test it out. How
all
really
right,
tough is
all
it?
right.
I guess it's a little tough.
It's a little tough.
Can't see left field, but other than that, it's fine.
Other than that, we don't need to see left field because Cole's going to strike everyone out, obviously. Well, Cole Chadoba now taking over for Michael Sansone. We'll introduce Cole here after Sansone
What a
was
performance.
excellent
What a
over 5
performance.
innings, 5 shutout innings once again. And I assume he was second in the league in ERA coming in today. I assume after today he has just lowered his ERA to #1 in the league. That'll be known for sure after the conclusion of today's game.
Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike had everything working. The changeup to righties, the slider, he calls it a slider. It's a hybrid curveball because he's only throwing it right 74, 75 miles an hour.
Could you call it a slurve even?
I don't know if you could call
Okay.
it that. It's just a slow.
Okay.
It's just a slow
Slider?
Maybe you can get away with calling it a
Okay,
slurve.
that's
but
fair.
It's a slower slider because it only comes in at 74. He throws his changeup faster than his slider, which is something you don't normally see.
No, you don't. Not at all. Nothing in one from Cole Chadoba after the first pitch from Matt Hogan was fouled away. Cole Chadoba, who has been outstanding on the season,
good.
and it's kind of a Ben Etheridge-like performance this year for Chadoba. You take a look at one outing, and
Well,
that was his most recent outing.
Exactly.
8 hits.
He got roughed up last time. It was scoreless. He hadn't given up a run. He got roughed up last time, and that was what game was that? That was the game, I believe, against Falmouth. Yes, exactly. That was the one where Colby Thomas had the walk-off home run on Monday against Falmouth, a game the Braves gave up 8 runs. He was roughed up. He's trying to bounce back, and no better team to do it, in my opinion, than against a Chatham team that really struggles to hit the baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. You saw Sansone's success with striking hitters out today. 6 strikeouts for Michael Sansone over 5 innings, including 4 in a row at one point from the 3rd into the 4th inning. As that one just misses outside. John Garcia was ready to throw it around the horn, but we'll do it again here with the payoff pitch to Matt Hogan, 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts to his credit thus far. Trying to avoid the hat trick.
John Garcia, he's first of all very good defensive catcher as
Oh, yeah.
advertised, but he makes me laugh behind the plate here. I'll tell you in a second after this pitch, which is high and outside. But he makes me laugh here because you can definitely tell in college he throws the ball around to first base. So here, right, the Braves all season have been throwing it around the third base side. So the first time he got up, he wanted to throw to Dalton Rushing
I noticed
at first
that.
base.
That's funny
He
you
had to
mentioned that.
Take a pause and then throw it to third base. And then a couple batters later, he didn't hesitate. He got up and threw it right to Dalton Rushing. He was kind of taken aback because John Garcia is not throwing the ball softly. So he was
No.
kind of taken aback that the ball was coming at him. He caught it, and then he ended up throwing it over Christian Knapchick's head as they tried to throw it around.
That's funny as Rivera takes a slider in the dirt 1-0. It's funny you mentioned that, Calvin, because I noticed that.
Absolutely.
It was a pitch where Garcia thought it was strike 3. It wasn't.
Yep.
So he got up and he immediately did the throwing motion over to first base and Dalton Rushing. And I was like, interesting. I thought in my head internally, I was like, that's funny. I wonder if they throw it around to first when it's a righty and to third when it's a lefty. And it didn't even occur to me. That's funny you brought that up, as this one spoiled away there by Rivera. Count goes even to 1-1. But obviously, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the first base around the horn, or do you prefer throwing it around to third?
I don't think
Give a preference?
I don't think there's a difference.
Yeah.
But when, every game this season the Braves have thrown it down to the third base side,
you keep it in
Dalton
symmetry.
Rushing's not expecting to catch and have to make a throw across the diamond to shortstop.
That is funny. 1-1 from Chadoba to Rivera. Aboard at first is Hogan. After the leadoff walk in this one, tapped back up the middle. There is Schobel, tags the runner, throws to first for the 4-3 double play. Excellent defensive work there from Tanner Schobel, and Chadoba helped out as the runner over there, and Hogan says he was not tagged out. He's going to stay over there at second.
Oh, it was pretty clear.
I thought clear as day they called him out.
Absolutely.
Chatham manager over there is going to argue his case, but Hogan is now going to walk off the base paths.
From here at least, it's pretty clear as day that he was tagged out. And what a heads-up play by Tanner Schobel. I mean, we talked about, I know you and Daniel and Nick, when we talked about our lineups in a couple of rain delay talk segments, you both believe that Tanner Schobel's the best option at shortstop.
Yes.
But he played second base at Virginia Tech this year. Most of his reps were at second base. In a great heads-up play, that is the second non-conventional double play the Braves have had this game. The other one being the Dalton Rushing line drive catch and tag out.
Yes, absolutely. Rushing, who had that nice play, and then, as you mentioned, tagged the runner out. We're going to have a meeting from the Chatham manager, who just talked to the home plate umpire, now going to talk.
Well, home plate umpire has nothing to do with
Yeah, he's now going to talk to the field umpire who made the call, who was over at the second base umpiring position, now moving over to third with nobody on.
Obviously no
and
replay.
Two down.
So
now, Calvin, exactly. Calvin, I thought, and
Yeah.
as you mentioned, Schobel got it.
Yeah, and there's obviously no replay, so there is zero jurisdiction that they're going to reverse this call. I would be floored if they do. And they're meeting altogether. If there's not a fist in the air once this comes out of this meeting with the three umpires, I'd be shocked. But, it is what it is. He claims he was safe, and yeah, he's out. He's out, absolutely. There's no doubt about that in my mind. You watch the play, and maybe he missed him. Maybe he did. Maybe he's telling the truth, right? But from every angle, unless you're him and you don't feel the tag on you, he's out.
Absolutely.
So that's the situation there. Yeah.
Well, umpires gather. They make the correct call, at least in our eyes, from what we saw up here. I don't think you could even overturn that call from the other umpire's jurisdiction just because of the fact that.
Well, they don't have a better angle than we do.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
First pitch breaking ball taken for a strike by Garrett Martin. He was hit by a pitch from Sansone in the first, struck out looking in the third. 0 for 1 today.
Now, this is an interesting thing here because, to me, this is a very big out. Right here, 2 outs in the 6th inning because Lyle Miller-Green is on deck, right? One of the best power bats in the league is standing in the on-deck circle, and if this guy gets on here, Miller-Green is going to have a chance to tie the game with one swing. If this guy gets out, Miller-Green leads off the 7th, and a home run is just a solo shot. So to me, this is a very big out right here.
Well, when Miller-Green was up earlier in the game, Daniel and I were talking about some of the 3 true outcome hitters in this Cape League. Not
absolutely
many better examples than Lyle Miller-Green.
He will take strike 3 with the best of them, but he will also hit a home run.
And he'll draw walks. Well, striking out, speaking about striking out the best of them, Colt Chadoba does an excellent job to get the Braves out of the bottom of the 6th. He strikes out Martin swinging with a breaking ball in the dirt. Calvin will keep you on here through this half inning as we head to the 7th right before we start. But take me through what we've seen from the Braves offense thus far. They've compiled 6 hits. Obviously, they were lifted by the Zach Agnos homer. Braylon Wimmer had the ground ball in which he reached it first. They scored a hit called the E6 in which the Braves and Max Anderson came around to score. But just the 2 runs today, but Sansone and the pitching staff have done it all again.
Well, the Braves only had 2 runs the last time they were here, and Chatham had 5 errors. They weren't really taking advantage of what the Anglers were giving them tonight. They get a run on one big swing. They had that last time the Braves were here. Dalton Rushing at the home run. Tonight it was Zach. Ack and I have a little bit of a funny thing going down there because I'd like to record every at-bat so I have it, for you guys, especially on the road, to put together some highlights. I have it to make my own highlight packages. But it has just happened that Zach Agnos' last couple or so extra base hits, there was something with the camera, whether I was switching out the battery or I was just, I missed the at-bat. So we've had a running thing going where it's like, don't record my at-bats. Well, today I hit record and he got one.
Boom.
So
That's the way to do it.
Zach and I are back on good terms right now.
Well, Calvin, always great to have you, my friend.
you
We'll
so
turn
much,
it over to
Chris.
Daniel Coates as we head to the top of the 7th inning.
McFarland back on the mound facing Goodwin, who pops up a foul ball just behind the backstop. 0-1 quickly in a quick game, 2-0. We haven't had a hit in a couple of innings, and Nick Goodwin looking to break that. Low and inside, 1-1 to McFarland from Miami, Florida. The Hurricane looking to take care of the Braves, and that is a breaking ball high, missing, 2-1. And Nick Goodwin struck out twice and looking to get back on track. We just had Calvin Cristoforo, our sideline reporter, on. Always good to have his wisdom on here behind the mic. That one just missing Nick Goodwin high and inside with a 92-mile-per-hour fastball.
Yeah, McFarland has come out of the bullpen for the Anglers, and he has dominated this Braves lineup.
And that is a 5-pitch walk. There goes Nick Goodwin down to first. First time on base. And Zach Agnos, who homered back in the second and struck out in the fourth, looking to add on to this 2-0 lead. Agnos coming in with a 180 average with Nick Goodwin now at first. And Goodwin took that ball for a ride in the time that we were cut off from the stream, unfortunately. And Reeves, you even said, don't hit that home run, don't do it. And
for the sake of us. Obviously, we want Zach to go deep, but wanted that call for for the highlight reel to make it even sweeter for Zach.
First pitch inside for fastball, 0-1. That catches the corner.
You can attest to this for the people at home listening. I told Daniel, our stream went out. It was 3-1 to Zach. Obviously, one of the prolific hitters counts. I told Daniel, I was like, Daniel, 3-1 count, next pitch, fastball, he's hitting a homer. What'd he do? Hit a homer. Like, I honestly, I said it, and even though I said it and, like, had a weird feeling it was going to happen, I was like, I couldn't believe it actually happened.
0-1. Nick Goodwin bouncing back, and there's nothing else to do but laugh when that happens there. It was an absolute bomb to left field. This one taken high and deep to right field. There goes Hogan on the run in foul territory. Did he grab it? They say it dropped and just by the fence. I thought Hogan was going to make a web gem catch. But it will stay at 0-2, and Agnos got a good piece of that in what is a shallow part of this field out there in right field.
Yeah, 314 to right. Same depth as Yankee Stadium's right field short porch. Or as I better like to call it, Cooperstown Dreams Park.
0-2 to Agnos, who was 1 for 2 on the day. The delivery just missing on the outside corner. 1-2. Agnos, again, one of those guys who you see off and on in the lineup. When he is on, he is really on. That started with a 2-for-4 performance against the Orleans Firebirds at Eldridge Park, and it looks like it might be happening here again. He began his debut here with a home run to left field. Swing and a miss, and he goes down on swings there against McFarland for out number 1. Nick Goodwin stays at first, and John Garcia continues to look for his first hit in the Cape League.
Yeah, Garcia, who has struck out twice today. A lot of strikeouts in this game from both sides. And for McFarland now, his 5th strikeout in just 2 1/3 innings.
John Garcia from Monroe College, transferring to Grambling State, watches a first pitch strike right down the middle, 0-1.
So all of McFarland's outs other than 2 have come via the punch-out.
From the stretch in this packed Veterans Field, Nick Goodwin has to jump back. He's barely safe on a check from McFarland. Garcia, the catcher, taking over for Peter Burns, who walked off with an RBI single last night. There goes Nick Goodwin, the throw. Is he safe? It looks like they got him, and he did. A brilliant throw from Romero Jr. down to Rivera for out number 2. Nick Goodwin's time on the base path is cut short.
Yeah, beautiful throw there from Romero Jr. Just got a perfect fastball and not a great jump there for Goodwin. An easy catch and throw. And got him by a mile, Romero Jr. to Rivera.
2-1 now after a breaking ball misses on the inside. To John Garcia, the 9-spot hitter on deck, has been in the hole at the 2, who's had quite a day. He's 2 for 3. That's a fastball, 2 for 2. The 2-2. Swinging a foul ball down the right field line. That's going to drift foul. Here where we're almost fully under the lights at Veterans Field in what was a spectacle before the game with helicopters and police officers. That pitch misses upstairs, a full count and a breaking ball from McFarland. Garcia 1 pitch away from taking over first.
Yeah, big payoff pitch here. Garcia looking to avoid going down for his 3rd time.
The 3-2 inside, and Garcia is on the base path for the first time in his Cape Cod League career. And the guy who's going to try and move him over, Christian Knapczyk, who came into this game leading in average throughout the entire league.
Yeah, Knapczyk came into this game .353 at the plate. That's dropped a little bit, 0 for 3 today. Almost beat out an infield single last time. But a nice play made over there by Soretti.
Swing and a miss from Knapczyk. Garcia takes over for Nick Goodwin at first. 0-1 with 2 outs at Veterans Field. The Chatham Anglers looking to improve off their 10-15-3 record. The delivery. This one taken foul. Down the third base line in an 0-2 count quickly to Christian Knapczyk, who uncharacteristically on the day is 0 for 2. He was close on an infield single, but didn't have the speed to beat it out.
Yeah, obviously going to have those days at the plate. You know, obviously Knapczyk riding the 8-game hitting streak, but 0 for 3 today, so.
0-2 inside for ball 1, 1-2, just by the lettering of Knapczyk's jersey. One and two, 2 outs. Chopper again back towards the second baseman. He fields it cleanly, flicks it over to the first baseman, and that gets behind him. Romero looking in disbelief. Lavari having now to deal with John Garcia at third base. Off a wayward throw from the second baseman, Soretti. And we have men now on first and third with the dangerous Max Anderson up to the plate, who's 2 for 3 on the day. And there's going to be a pitching potential change, but maybe just a meeting here at the mound.
Yeah, just Knapczyk, see what happens when you put the ball in play. Force the defense to make a play on the ball, and maybe you'll get rewarded with an error. That's exactly what Knapczyk did. Obviously, the pressure of his speed moving down the base path, and Soretti tried to rush the throw. I thought for a minute Miller Green could have gotten that ball, but he was ready for a throw to the chest. Ball was so low, and Soretti was so close to Miller Green that no time to adjust the glove and just trickled past. And Garcia was able to advance to third, so a costly E4. Remember, the last time the Braves were here in Chatham, Daniel, Chatham committed 5 errors in that game, and the Braves were still only able to put up 2 runs on the board. The Braves are error-less today, but Chatham has put up 2 now. So 7 errors for the Anglers in 2 games that the Braves have been to Veterans Field.
Well, Anderson looking to continue his hot day. First pitch swinging high, fly ball to right field. Hogan going after it in foul territory, and that's out number 3, stranding 2 Bourne Braves at first and third. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th in a quick game here at Veterans Field.
Get them while they last. 2X shirts, $15
Cole
each.
Chidoba takes over the mound, and Will Henschel takes over the headset for Reeves Jackson here in the bottom of the 7th. Will, our PA announcer back home at Doran Park. Will, it's good to have you on.
It's good to be on here. Had to make the road trip out to historic Veterans Field. Had to see it from my own eyes. Got off work around 7 p.m., so missed the first pitch, but got in here in time for right around the end of the 3rd inning.
Well, you haven't missed much, especially since you missed the beginning. I mean, Agnos homered back in the 2nd, and then there was a run scored back in the top of the 3rd. Chidoba stays on and misses with his first pitch low and inside to Lyle Miller-Green, and we saw one thriller yesterday against the Orleans Firebirds back at Doran Park, and we had the opportunity to be up there in the press box for a little longer than we expected.
Yeah, we had a good show during what was an extended rain delay. Got out a bit late. Game ended around 11, but you know, the talents of Calvin and the rest of our production staff, I think we put on a good show during the rain delay. But it's always fun when you get a walk-off over at Doran Park. We've had a handful of those now.
2-0 to Miller-Green. Finally finds the strike zone. Chidoba makes it 2-1. And we actually had Christian Knapczyk and Zach Agnos on the headsets, on these very headsets. And Zach Agnos has homered today. And you're able to be right next to our broadcast producer, Megan Heyer. And that one's going to get through for a base hit in the middle. The 2-1 taken right up the middle for Lyle Miller-Green, and a Chatham angler is on first base with no outs.
Yeah, but we had Knapp and Agnos on there for the show all by themselves, just the two of them, and they honestly seemed kind of shocked when we put the camera to them, but they recovered really nicely, and they kept the dialogue going, and it was hilarious because we were all circled around the production table just watching it and losing it at every joke they pulled. So it was a good show.
Well, they even asked what is a player that you wouldn't allow to date your daughter, and just crazy stuff like that. I think that kind of gives you an idea of who we're dealing with.
Yeah. No, the camaraderie on this Braves team is uber high. I think everyone gets along really well, and it's a great group of people over there.
0-1 count to Chidoba. Low and inside for ball 1. 1-1, and Garcia had to keep that in front of him and keep Miller-Green at first.
Yeah, since I've gotten here in the 3rd inning, it's just been some great defensive baseball. We've seen a lot of web gems up in right field. We saw a great double play, unassisted double play by Dalton Rushing. So it hasn't been high-scoring baseball, but it's certainly been entertaining baseball since I've arrived at Veterans Field.
Which Chidoba's in a bit of a sticky situation, and he responds with a 1-2 count. Great fastball on the outside, and Chidoba transferring from Assumption, going to UConn, and 2 Massachusetts natives here on the call. And I know you're a St. Seb's alum. I'm a BC High alum.
Yes, sir.
Going to Syracuse, Boston College. A lot of connections there. We even our own Calvin Cristoforo, as that's a swing and a miss and a strikeout from Chidoba. Down goes Jake DeLeo, and there's a lot of connections between those two schools.
Oh yeah. The ISL to ACC pipeline is quite strong here. Not that Calvin Cristoforo, our sideline reporter, originally from Saco, Maine, not an ISL affiliate there, but no, Syracuse, BC, ACC, Massachusetts all-region, a strong pullings from that area. So a lot of it was a small world once we figured out we were both going to Doran Park.
That one taken to left field on the run. Nick Goodwin, he jumps up. That's going to get behind him. Bouncing off the wall towards the warning track. Held off at first, though, is going to be Lyle Miller-Green after the throw in from Nick Goodwin. So just a bit of a misjudgment from Nick Goodwin off a hard hit line drive to left field. And all of a sudden, 2 Chatham anglers on at first and third. And Will, I got to ask you, well, coming into this season, I should say, I'm not sure if we expected a 20-3 record through these amount of games. When was the first time that you realized this was a special team we had on our hands?
Oh, geez. I mean, when we started out 3-0, I mean, we had a pretty hot start at the beginning, but when it started going on to 6, 7, I was like, okay, this is pretty good, especially when I was looking at the other records at the time, and I can't say I knew every record at the time towards the beginning of the season, but when you're at 6-0, especially in a league like the Cape League, when there's just the cream of the crop college baseball players out here on the peninsula, that's when I realized it's a special team that we've assembled here in Bourne. And now it's just gotten even bigger at 23-3, which is a number that just boggles the mind. I mean, Darren Weeks, our GM, he just says it every time. Like, this team is unbelievable. They can't figure out ways to lose.
Well, Chidoba looking to add to the win total. 21 wins is the goal, but a 1-1 count check swing from Lavari, and that's going to prove to be another strike. 1-2, 1 out, bottom of the 8th here. And just like that, this game is closing into crunch time. 1-2 taken high and towards center field. Joe Lampe under it. At third is going to be Lyle Miller-Green. He tags up the throw to third, and Miller-Green's going to tag up and score. The first run for the Chatham Anglers in this game, 2-1. The Braves still hold the lead, and there's still a man in scoring position for the Anglers, but that is going to cut down the lead to 1. And Will, this is a team in the Anglers that have had our number the past couple of games. We have lost one to them, we've tied one, and one of those came when we were back at home. Tell me about that game for you, and even just as a PA announcer, seeing everything from our home, and you're able to come out here tonight, and it just shows how committed this entire staff is to the success of this Braves team.
Yeah, being able to see everything from up in the broadcast booth, like I've been saying, at Doran Park, it is such an incredible perspective because you get to see all the shifting pieces of a baseball team. You get to see what kind of shift they're throwing on. You get to see exactly how, you know, Schobel or Knapczyk might be moving at short and second to cover the throwdown. You know, as somebody who's played and loved and watched baseball his entire life, getting able to get that up close and personal with the game, especially at a level such as the Cape League, it's just unbelievable, and it's just incredible to get that opportunity every home game to witness that, to be, especially for such a good team as Bourne.
And to get to win 21, I mean, that is crazy to even think about. 2-0, Chidoba to Trenkel, a ground ball towards Knapczyk. He scoops it up, tosses it over to first for out number 3. The Braves hold a 2-1 lead, with the Anglers fight back with one with a sacrifice fly from Kenny Lavari. Will, it was great having you on, and if you haven't listened or come to a game, Will is a great PA announcer, and you can ask him for a shout-out, maybe a special announcement from him. But, Will, it's always great having you on, and I'm sure we're going to have you on soon enough.
Dan, thanks for having me.
We're going to be right back. 2-1. The Braves still lead on the road. Top of the 8th, and Dalton rushing will start things off, and he misses. Actually, I should say takes a breaking ball low and outside. Still McFarland on for the Chatham Anglers tonight.
He's been pitching excellent out of relief for the Anglers so far.
2 straight balls on the outside. Dalton rushing on the day has been quiet. He popped up in the infield in the first, grounded to second back in the third and grounded to short in the fifth. He takes 3 balls on the outside, 3-0. Rushing the last time he was here had a home run shot solo rip back in the first. And that's a fastball down, well and inside for a 3-1 count. The Louisville Cardinal comes in with the second best average on the team behind his own teammate, Christian Knapczyk. 3-1. That one's outside, and Dalton Rushing will get on the base path for the first time. 5-pitch walk.
Well, that's one way to begin an inning, to try to answer the lone run scored by the Anglers last half inning. We'll take a leadoff walk, and all of a sudden McFarland, who was running through this Braves order, has struggled with command dating back to last inning.
Braylon Wimmer now struck out in his last appearance, but before that he has gone on base each time with 2 hits, 1 in the first inning, 1 in the third. Rushing at first. A breaking ball on the inside for strike 1, 0-1. McFarland had trouble finding the strike zone, but it seems that his breaking ball is the one that's hitting the zone most.
Yeah, Wimmer now back-to-back multi-hit games. Had the double and the single yesterday, and 2 singles today. Didn't get credit for the RBI due to the error over there by Rivera, but still did the job and got the run home for the Braves regardless.
Swing and a miss, 0-2 off a breaking ball. McFarland out in front. 0-2, Dalton Rushing with a 5-pitch walk, able to take over first. The crowd has stayed steady here at Veterans Field. The 0-2. Fastball's going to ring him up on the outside corner, high and outside. Braylon Wimmer goes down for the second time tonight on strikes. Joe Lampe looking to add to his day. He's 0 for 3, all of which came with the strikeout.
Yeah, just a good pitch there by McFarland. Lampe trying to right the ship now with his hat trick of the day at the plate.
Fouled off and just hits the top of the net, 0-1. McFarland gets in front, but with the amount of people here, Reeves, they have to be on their toes. I mean, that goes 2 inches above the net, and we're going to have people scattering.
Were you ready to make a play there?
That was a hard hit ball. I didn't bring my glove. So
oh, come on, Dan.
Sure.
You've got to bring your glove.
An 0-1, Lampe showing bunt. That one gets behind the catcher and moving to second is Dalton Rushing easily. Romero Jr. was unable to handle a wild pitch on the outside to Joe Lampe. 1-1 count with 1 out in the top of the 8th.
We'll take that. Runner in scoring position now. So a base hit would likely, well, it depends how hard it was hit, obviously. Rushing, not the fastest guy over there at second base. Who would you say is the slowest guy on the team, Daniel? Let's expose somebody. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Is it Dalton, maybe? Maybe Dalton, I'd say.
I don't know if I would say Dalton, but he'd be in the pack of the people that I would choose from. 1-1, taken the other way, foul. 1-2 now, and Joe Lampe stays alive and battles, protecting the home plate. But I got to imagine he's up there, Reeves. And I'm surprised we actually haven't seen him being pinch run for this entire season. 1-2, 1 out.
Well, he got to have his bat in the lineup. That's why.
Fouled off again, 1-2 it remains. Joe Lampe coming in for the Braves, and he's been moving around quite a bit in the last 2 weeks, trying to find a new spot for him other than the one spot. Christian Knapczyk has taken over that role. Tonight he's at the 5 spot. He's batting .284 coming into the game. 1-2. McFarland from the stretch has to deal with Rushing at second. Chopper to second. Rushing will make it to third. Underhander from Soretti at second will finish things off for Joe Lampe. He's 0 for 4 on the day, but he moves over Dalton Rushing to third base. 1 step closer to crossing home and giving the Braves another 2-run lead.
Yeah, productive out obviously there for Lampe. And now it'll take a base hit from Tanner Schobel if the Braves want to answer that run that Chatham just scored and give a little more insurance for the Braves here going into the bottom of the 8th.
Swing and a miss from Schobel with Dalton Rushing at third. McFarland with an 85-mile-per-hour pitch on the low and outside corner. 2 outs, 0-1. Swing and a miss again off a breaking ball. 85 and McFarland. You know, there's not a ton of space or difference between his fastball and his breaking ball, but it moves and dips completely into the dirt, it seems.
Yeah, it's a very good pitch.
0-2. 2-1, the Braves hold the lead. Top of the 8th, Tanner Schobel with an 0-2 count. He looks at one on the outside. Rushing remains at third. On deck behind Tanner Schobel is going to be Nick Goodwin, the left fielder today, who's had a diving catch out there in left and moving all sorts of places in the infield and the outfield, and Harvey Shapiro using him in multiple different ways. A fastball high, 2-2.
Yeah, Schobel here. Got to protect with 2 strikes, obviously. As Daniel looks like, is that smoke or fog? I think that's actually smoke rolling in. Looked for a minute like fog.
That one bounces off the chest pad of Romero Jr. Dalton Rushing stays at third. And a full count, it does look a bit like smoke, Reeves. I'm not sure where that's coming from. I thought, you know, you're so used to seeing fog down here on the Cape. I thought that was fog again. There's even been a couple of fog delays down here.
Got the snack shack, I guess, right down there. So probably the girl on the other side, if I had to guess.
A full count. McFarland with a payoff pitch to Tanner Schobel. Tanner has doubled today. Swing and a miss, and McFarland strands Dalton Rushing at third base. 2-1, the Braves continue to hold the lead in a game that has pitching all over it, dominated by the men on the mound. 2-1, the Braves continue to lead, but only by 1 at Veterans Field. Danny Soretti for the Chatham Anglers is going to start things off, and against me is going to be Calvin Cristoforo taking over.
Against? Are you opposing one another?
I think you are going to come on here, try and
Okay.
give me a run for my money.
I'll give you some curveballs if that's what you're asking for. All right.
Well, Calvin coming up from the dugout down there on the Bourne Braves side, and a first pitch from Chijoba drops low. What have you seen here tonight, Calvin? You know, 2-1. This game has been flying by.
It has been. And now that you just jinxed it, you're pulling a little Nick Galley here. Nick Galley says the weather's beautiful. Daniel says the game's flying by. Watch, this inning's going to take. This game's going to finish in like 45 minutes now that you said that.
Well, now it's a 1-1, but it seems that we always said that. Even yesterday against Orleans, we had picture-perfect skies, blue skies all around, and then Reeves and I said that, and we looked behind us, and there's a massive rain cloud. Swing and a miss from Soretti. That's going to be a 1-2 count, and Chidoba's coming in, pitching well. Of course, another sensational start by Mike Sansone.
And that's what you've come to expect from Sansone, and this is an Anglers team. No secrets about it. They've struggled to hit left-handed pitching all season long, and Michael Sansone is one of the top left-handed pitchers, if not the top left-handed pitcher in the league. So when you're struggling against lefties, you're going to struggle against Sansone, which they did tonight.
Down goes Soretti, looking at a fastball on the outside. 92 miles per hour from the Assumption turned Yukon transfer. And the 2-spot hitter, Matt Hogan from Vanderbilt, due up. And I'll ask you this, Calvin. You know, we saw Zach Agnos go deep in the second inning. Do you think we're going to see anyone else go deep? I thought tonight we were going to see a handful of home runs just with the wind blowing out and the the lack of distance out there in the outfield.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing to me, Daniel, is Zach Agnos, the only home run in this game, which was a no-doubter, was by a righty, and it was to do a pull-side righty. This ballpark is a left-handed hitting friendly park. There's no real secrets about that, but there hasn't been any. I'm sure Chatham would love one because they're obviously one swing away and they have 5 more outs to work with. So if Chatham can tie this game with one swing, that's why the Braves getting insurance in the top half of the 9th. If Cole Chidoba is able to get out of the inning, not giving up a run, insurance is going to be critical for the Braves in the top half of inning number 9.
Well, the top of the order has done it again, and that's emphasized by Max Anderson. Foul ball from Hogan makes it 1-2. But Max Anderson on the day has singled twice. We've also seen a double from Tanner Schobel. At the top of the order, though, Christian Knapczyk with an uncharacteristically quiet day.
Yeah, and Dalton Rushing and Christian Knapczyk heading into their final at-bats are both, flirting with ending a streak they've had going. But Dalton Rushing extended his streak. He has now hit safely. He's gotten on base safely in every game he started this year. Worked ball 4, so that streak continues for the Braves first baseman Dalton Rushing. But Christian Knapczyk's hoping to get a chance here in the top half of the 9th.
Another strikeout from Chidoba. Down goes Matt Hogan from Vanderbilt. And Josh Rivera, the shortstop from Florida, is the last hope here in the bottom of the 8th in a game where we dropped our 2nd loss of the season against an East Conference team in the Chatham Anglers, where they got all over Hunter Olmod. Such an important start, and it just goes to show how important it is to have a guy on the bump to begin the game who you trust in. Sansone, he doesn't bring the heat.
No.
He just switches it up in such a way that it's so hard to predict if you're a batter.
Well, when you're throwing the changeup consistently at 78, 79 miles an hour, the fastball doesn't look like it's 87, 88. It looks like it's 92, 93 because you're used to seeing the stop stuff, and then it's by you. It is by you, and that's where Sansone lives. He loves to work backwards, start you off at the changeup, get you down 0-2, and then the heater up high is essentially unhittable once you're seeing 2 pitches coming in at less than 80 miles an hour.
We'll talk about unhittable. Cole Chidoba fouls one off. It looks like it's going to be in play. Garcia unable to snag it. A rare mistake from the Grambling State catcher, and that was there for the taking. I thought it was coming right back at us.
Yeah. Cole Chidoba made a good pitch there, and John Garcia, who is usually a sure-handed catcher, just had trouble with that one. That is the toughest pop-up to catch. There's no doubt about that. The one where the catcher's going back to it, it's going to curl back to the field. It's always a tough one to grab, and Garcia just missed it that time. So now Cole Chidoba needs to make one good pitch here to get out of this inning with the Braves still up by 1 run.
Chidoba from the windup, the 0-2. High fly ball. It gets over the head of Schobel and into the glove of Braylon Wimmer. There goes 3 outs. Chidoba making quick work once again. We might see someone new as the bullpen looks to be heating up on the right field line. But Calvin, it's always a pleasure to have you on. And if you're not watching or listening to all the content Calvin's putting out, please do so on our Twitter stream as well as our Instagram
Hey,
stream.
thanks, Daniel. And I just want to throw out a bold prediction before I get off the air here. Don't be surprised if you see the Emery Riddle product, Kelsey Ward, the left-hander, come into the 9th inning. I'm just saying.
What about Stewart? Southern Miss.
That could be the case, but I have a gut feeling we could see Kelsey Ward here in the 9th. So stake out for that. Cole Chidoba might go out there after getting the 1-2-3-8th, but if there's going to be a new guy tonight, it's probably going to be Kelsey Ward in my eyes from Emery Riddle, the left-hander.
Well, we're going to have to wait and see. One more opportunity to add on to this 2-1 lead. Just after this, the Braves will have the bats in their hands once more.
number 8, Colby Thomas.
Colby Thomas is the pinch hitter coming in for Nick Goodwin, who is 0 for 2 on the day. And with that, Reeves will take you through the 9th inning.
Thank you, Daniel. Colby Thomas, the Mercer Bears, going to pinch hit here against Zachary Maxwell, a tall 6'7" right-hander from Georgia Tech, as he takes that one downstairs 1-0. Maxwell by way of Ackworth, Georgia. Get this, Daniel, 6'7", 275 pounds. Talk about a load coming at you on the mound, as Thomas takes a fastball at 96. And when you're 6'7", 275, well, you think you should throw 96, and yes, Maxwell does.
Yeah, you can see it on the gun, and you can see it on the mound. He is a behemoth.
Colby spoils that one into the screen behind him. 1-2 the count. Braves preserving a 1-run lead, 2-1. It looks like Xavier Lovett is currently warming in the Braves bullpen. It is indeed Lovett. We saw Adler a night ago roughed up. I doubt we see him tonight, although a 1-run game. Could see Xavier getting a save opportunity. Lovett does have 1 save on the year. Adler has commanded most of those opportunities. But Daniel, Lovett might get the call tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see Lovett. We haven't seen him in a bit, and there goes Thomas.
Nice diving stop there by Rivera, but he will have no play as Colby Thomas is aboard. That one short hopped into the glove. Zach Rivera made an excellent play over there at shortstop, and Colby Thomas will be aboard with a leadoff single pinch hitting there for Nick Goodwin.
How about Thomas improving on a .222 average, all of which have come in the last 11 games. 3 homers and 10 RBIs. The Mercer Bear continues to dominate in the batter's box.
Here's Zach Agnos. Agnos has provided the big blow today, and one of the runs that is currently the difference maker in this game. A solo shot on the top of the second. A check first over there on Colby, who will come in as a defensive replacement also for Nick Goodwin. Nick also kind of misjudged that fly ball that ended up leading to a sacrifice fly for the Chatham Anglers in the bottom of the 7th. Obviously, Nick, just his second game, you could say, ever out in left field, as Agnos squares the bunt and has to turn quickly. 95 coming in on the hands, but pulls away in time for a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and Agnos has been the difference maker. He tilted the scale towards the Braves with a shot into left. Unfortunately, we weren't able to bring that to you at home.
Yes, that's the second time here they've robbed us of a home run call. One for you, one for me. I guess we're even now. Agnos squares around to bunt, takes a fastball. I believe Agnos went, but it's a call and strike.